You have always been tapped into your ancestors. You have always had command of every cell of your body. You just needed the realization to activate it, meaning that you can give yourself joy, happiness, and love at any time, regardless of time and space, because time and space don't even exist. Well, yeah, space does exist. The only space that exists is right here. That's the only space. That's why it's called space. Space is just the medium from which life can observe itself. So it's like, there's nothing else but where we are. And, we can go anywhere in this infinite realm. So it's like, what I mean, you have access to everything you need, all the happiness you need, all the serotonin you need, all the dopamine. It's all within your body. It's all within the body. And you can focus and access these how should I say it? These feel good fact. I don't want to say that though, because it diminishes it. Because it's all you. You know what I mean? You always had the the drive and determination to do it. So it's just tapping into that and accessing that. You can really do anything and manifest any situation you want for yourself, no matter what the situation may be, or whatever trauma or adversity you may have gone through. You can always rise above it, and you can always give yourself the energy needed to get through it. And that's why people don't understand how certain people get more energy through fasting. Because for one, you're leaving your organs alone when you fast. So you're allowing your own healing. You're accelerating the rate of your own healing. So when you do that, you're no longer as inflamed, and you're not stressing your body out to the point where you can't allocate energy to other tasks that you want. So that's why, like, stress eating, emotional eating, and not just eating in the sense of like food, like eating in the sense of music, people, your emotions, your environment, where you are, how it affects you. It's all up to you. You have the ability to get up and leave, or um, outcast it from your sphere, from your world. Your sphere meaning your biofield, because everything is fields, and we're all interacting through each other through fields. So with that being said, it's like you always have the power to, and that's why like things like temptation is so hard for people who are already giving up a lot of vices, because they feel that lack because they can't tap into all their cells. So they feel the need to constantly go back to something to experience it again, to get that satisfaction and that experience and that feeling of whatever it is that thing gives, especially past experiences. So it's like that's what a comfort food is. At the period of time that you ate that food, you had a great rush of euphoria and a release of certain chemicals within your own body that you can create an abundance of, so that your cup is always full. But it's like, when you're tested, and you know what, from now on I'm just going to be speaking in third person, because I feel like it's better that way. When I'm tested with certain foods and I relapse, or yeah, foods meaning everything, and I relapse, it was really just to experience that experience again, so that it can have the same effect that it did the last time, because the body is memory. That's what all your cells are, is just memory. That's what your DNA is, it's memory. You're collecting, that's why you are your ancestors. Your ancestors never left, they're still here, because traces of their code lie in your dormant, in your, not even dormant, lie in your DNA. So it's like everything really is an ancestor. I made a video called You and I Versing. I recommend you guys have a look at that one, because I explain how everything is really connected and tethered, and there's no disconnection between the physical, the physical realm, the spirit realm, the subtle realm, whatever you want to call the layers of where we are. So I just wanted to make a quick video, man, just to inspire people to tell them, yo, you can do anything you want at any given moment. You know what I mean? You don't have to fall back into the same cycles and patterns that you were once a part of, because if you're hearing this right now, then you've already probably clocked by now that, there is no spoon. And I love that phrase because it's like there's nothing against you. Everything is for you, but we oftentimes bully our own selves by the actions that we take and the things we say, and because the mag the we don't know the magnitude of what we do. What I mean? And that's a Bible quote, forgive them, they don't know what they're doing. This is the Kali Yuga, as the Vedics would have said. This is the age where of extreme censorship and deprivation of mental faculties and just physical resources, which low key are synonymous, mental faculties and physical resources being the same thing, because everything is thought manifested. So really, what they do when they rape the earth, and they restrict you from going places, and they take your water source, so that way you have to constantly pay for water and electricity, which the natural world generates for free. So it's like they're just selling you to you. We- So, I have a funny phrase I say all the time. It's like I'm constantly being separated from my minerals by these outward forces, which are just inward forces. So the more you realize that it's more about union and compromise than opposition and ego, because ego is just an opposing force. It's like, I'm here, so I have to do this. No, you're not of this. You know how much there is to be of. That's why you can't be anything. You can only be no thing, because you can't quantify infinity. And that's what calorie counting is. That's what diets are. Whether you're vegan, um, I don't want to I don't want to say vegan right now, because it's a word that I myself am coming to terms to. So whether you're vegetarian, keto, um, low carb, whatever your diet so called may be, it's the same thing as a religion, basically, to where you're like quantifying, because with religion you're quantifying your sins. It's like I'm using this as a guidebook, and there are certain things that I'm going to allow, and certain things that I'm not going to allow. Is the same discipline with everything, and that's what the Vedas and all the ancient scriptures and texts, or the Bible, the Quran, which really came from the Hermetica, the Hermetic corpus from Egypt. So you realize that everything has always existed, and it's just borrowing of borrowing. And even Egypt borrowed their knowledge from other cultures. So you want to stay away from quantifying, because when you quantify, you lose the real meaning of it, because it's like, I know myself already, so it's like I'm gonna I'm gonna play around with death, because we that's what we do every day. We play around with death instead of learning life. You feel me? We're obsessed with death. We love death. We engage in death every day, unconsciously most of the time, sometimes consciously, myself as well. And we align with death. And when I align with death, it takes from my life, and I walk amongst the mortal, the 3D, just like majority of other people, instead of living in my infinite being, to where I can recall every single experience by focusing my breath through my cells. And it might sound a bit strange for certain people, but like I said, if you're here, then you've already heard this, whether it's from me or from the cosmos itself. The breath is spirit. The air around you that's moving within this enclosed space is the ether. That's what air is. You think air is just people think air is just wind. Nah, the elements are alive and conscious. Water is conscious. The air is conscious. The air is information. The air is what you are breathing. and allowing into your vessel. So it's already mingled with all of your energy and it's constantly exchanging within this grid that Tesla himself spoke about. So, this is how I get myself fired up and, inspired to handle my day, to do what I got to do, get what I got to get done. And when you align with your will, which wants what's best for you, which is your cosmic will, which is the reason why everything in your life has happened the way it's happened. When you realize that and you live in alignment with that, then you're always protected. That is your protection. So you need nothing else. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. Thank you guys for listening. I just had a stream of consciousness that I wanted to share. So love.